Infinity is just a number. That's a saying I sometimes say. It has both a poetic and a literal meaning for my stories. And I know who poetry is not my content. So today we're talking about the literal way people in my stories can be age infinity and also not die. But yeah, before we get started, hello survivors, and make sure to subscribe, turn on the notices, to go on and join survivors. And yeah, let's start with a disclaimer. Yeah, so this concept didn't have an explanation made until earlier this year, like maybe around summer or late spring, but I didn't like list it down or anything. So yeah. However, I did come up with characters capable of being over the age of infinity, like 2 infinities, 5 infinities, 776 uh, infinities, etc., etc. Um, all the way back when I invented the Vomians in elementary school. Yeah, and also for reference to that, I graduated high school this year, and now I'm in a community college. So, yeah. Um. Anyways, to get to age infinity overall is still up in the air, unless that air is in the black hole galaxy or planet Vomia, which is in that galaxy, where 1 year is an infinity. But the more common occurrence that gets you to over infinity is through substantial essence exposure. In my fictional terms, that is corruption exposure. So, yeah, by the way, if you stay to the end of some of my videos, you'll see like short survivor descriptions that usually include something called adjusted age or in corruption years. Strangely enough, while I was researching, um, the the only survivor I found was Tessa's survivor, aka Heavy Air, who is the only one who's like 3 infinities in corruption age. The only one who has infinity as an age, like like over infinity. But yeah, but there are definitely a lot more characters I've mentioned before that are age infinity and up. But I don't want to make another list video. So yeah, let's just head back to explaining what happens when you're age infinity and above, because frequently I've been asked this. So if you were to hit the age of infinity or more, you would be randomly given one of 3 events that happen to you: the stunt, the paradox, or the choice. Gosh darn it, I already failed my no list plans. Um, but yeah, little side note. Being like 8 infinities just means you're older or lived longer, because now you can reach infinity years naturally if you want to. Anyways, now we go on to the stunt, which is the most common, simplest, and kind of the most boring event, where the sudden age up stunts your physical age to stay as what you were before. Yeah, so it's kind of like if your body were to be super traumatized or petrified that it forgot how to age. And yeah, by the way, if this wasn't implied clearly, this is a nearly permanent stage of aging. So that means that you're probably going to be the same age. Like if you'll look like a 17-year-old when you're like 400 infinities or something. I don't know. But yeah. But however, the idea of being over infinity from waiting is still is still being worked on while like after I wrote this script that I'm reading. So yeah. Um, but yeah, now we go on to the paradox, which can easily be misread as something the paradox control would try to eliminate. That little video reference should be pointed over there in the corner. But yeah. But really, it's like your body goes through a hypothetical black hole experience. And yeah, what I mean is that like the body would change constantly at random rates. Almost like you have been a perpetual black hole. It's like going from a fetus to an immortal raisin, like a hypothetical scenario where like you would be immortal but you still age. And then to like a baby in the span of a minute, just for example. Yeah. Some of them could be slower, some of them could be faster, all up to whatever you get from the paradox. So yeah. And finally, we got the choice. It's a superpowered event created by the universe's leader of free will, the Decider. It's a new character, I know. I'll maybe describe this being at a different time. But yeah, for now, we're talking about the choice, which is that this power gives you the conscious or subconscious decision for your appeared age. Sometimes this power happens only once, or it stays around and you could experience any physical age of your choosing. Pretty neat as a power. Yeah. And yeah, it's like super cool. Unless it's your subconscious choosing, because that would probably be another paradox scenario where, yeah, it would be very unreliable about when and when you're going to age, I guess, like what age you're going to be and when it's going to happen. That's what I mean. So, yeah. So that's all of them. So now that we explained the three ways age, infinity, and above work, there's one last question I should probably answer because I feel like I might be questioned about this later. How can someone's body handle such a huge age up? Well, it's actually pretty simple. Minecraft logic. Yeah. If you don't know, I loosely base this kind of stuff off of it at times. Like, I don't know of good examples right now. I didn't write any down, so just know that I sometimes do that. But yeah, that's not the main point. The main point is that like, try to think about this logic. Like this example will show it. If you leave your Minecraft open for hours upon hours, with your character just standing or being stationary in some way, they would have just been softly breathing for weeks, months, or even years without the basic needs that we'll need within that time. Water or some other kind of thing, aside from just standing. But yeah, and I know that, yeah, like, with this logic, hunger is still a thing. It still goes down at times. But yeah. But yeah, so that's why the sensation feels like your stomach completely filled itself and then regenerates what was in it once you are officially age infinity or more. So yeah, it might be a weird visual, but yeah, like where your stomach was once just void of everything, every single nutrient it had, and then went back up for it. But just try not to visualize that unless you're actually age infinity. Then yeah, oh well. But yeah, that's pretty much all I need to say about that. Again, I am going to be working on coming up with how to determine how when you're at you're in year infinity without using like the Vomians as a reference, and then also the like maybe a new concept where like if you go to like 2 infinities or above at some point, something different will happen. But right now it's all in my head right now, and it's all jumbled up. So yeah, that's pretty much all the information I could tell you about this. So yeah, thank you all for watching this explanation, and yeah, make sure to subscribe to know and to come on and join the survivors. Thank you all for watching, and goodbye.